Hello, hello, hello. This is my sweet dog Sophie. She's a little bit I guess in a sleepy mood. She looks like she's in a sleepy mood. Maybe in a sad mood that it's very bitter and cold out today. But she'll be joining me on my little discussion today, I guess. Anyway. But I wanted to talk about a project that I'm hoping that I'll work on soon. Again, I just kind of go with whatever my heart feels at the time, whatever I'm creatively inspired to do. Especially after being sick with toxic mold, it's like I really cannot force myself to do anything creatively. It's like I really gotta just like go with whatever the soul desires. I can't get into that like forceful mindset. It just gets into like a fatigue mindset. I don't want to turn it into that. So anyway, I have been working on this kind of. I started working on this last night, and I kind of got inspired. So I'm gonna probably do this project soon, but I collect music boxes. I've collected them since before I was born because my mom, while I was still in her womb, I got my first music box. She got one for me before I was born. It was very sweet. This is not that, but this is one of the music boxes that I own and that I have. And this was broken when I got it because I got it from this like garage sale type thing that my church growing up that I went to was having. And yeah, like it was like broken already. Like I don't even really know why it was there. But they gave it to me for free because I was like a member of the church and their little schools that they had there. So I got to take one home for free every single day if it didn't get sold, obviously. So this was one of them that I took home. I always took home the music boxes, and I always hoped that the music boxes didn't get taken up so I could take it home. Because I just love them so much. So anyway, this is one of them. I believe this is from the 1930s, but it also could be from like the 50s. But I don't know why. I think I assumed that this was from the 50s, and then I looked it up one time and it was from the 30s. So it's this little boy and this little girl ice skating. They have this little dog. And I don't even know the tune that it plays. It doesn't sound familiar whenever I play it, so I don't really know. And then this little thing used to have another kid on it, I believe, who is also ice skating. And yeah. And all of these like marks, these white marks, were because I think this was about 2 years ago now. I got air dry clay, Crayola air dry clay, and I flew a little too close to the sun. I thought like, oh, this is gonna be easy. I mean, I get it, I understand it. And so I was trying to make like a garland around here, and I was like trying to do like trees and this whole scene, and it crumbled on me because it was like my first attempt at it, and I was just really like ambitious, I guess. And so these are the residuals of the clay. I've got to wash those off. But I kind of like that this is broken because it kind of is like, okay, I can make it my own. I don't ever like take apart or ruin my other music boxes, obviously. So it's not like I'm like turning them into my own thing. They are just what they are, and I love them for that. But it's like this kind of gives me opportunity to have some fun with it. Like it's kind of just, it's already broken. So I kind of want to look for like some little weird trinket to put here. Maybe like a little toy cat. Because there's a dog here. Why not a cute little toy cat? Or maybe build a snowman. That might be a cute idea. But I, since this project, have made things with the air dry clay and have now sort of understood a little bit better how it works. And so I think I can go back to this project and make a little scene at the bottom, but this is my idea for it. This is my idea. We'll see if this is what I go with, but I'm thinking of painting an Aurora Borealis all on this middle section, right? And then with the clay, doing like a scene of trees, you know, over top. So it's sort of like the auroras in the background. I think that would be really fun, especially since I love the Aurora Borealis so much. It's been such a treat seeing it. I saw it for the first time. No, I saw it for the first time a couple of years ago, but it wasn't that strong at all. I want to say that was like in 2019. But last year, I saw it for the first time, like, and it was big, and it was good, and it was gorgeous. Like, it was like a stronger Aurora, and it was awesome. And then this year, so many people have been seeing the Aurora, and it's just been so magical seeing all of that online. Although, oddly enough, I never got to see the Aurora while it was happening all across the United States this year. It was weird. Every time I would go out to try to see it, they were like, it's high tonight, it's high probability, and I would go out there and there would be nothing. It was clear, gorgeous, and then nothing. So, shooting stars though, I've seen some shooting stars this year. That's been really cool. But yeah, I love the Aurora so much. So I'm thinking I can do that. I also did have slight practice painting the Aurora. Not well. It was like just a first attempt, not even like having a reference photo, so it was like not the best. But I have some experience painting an Aurora just because earlier this year I painted on a, what is that called? A ornament. So maybe I'll be okay at doing it. I don't know. I might have to look up some reference photos and just like really try my hardest. But I think that could be really fun to do an Aurora. We'll see how that turns out. I have already sanded this down so the paint will stick, because this was very shiny, like that shiny, smooth plastic. So I sanded this down already last night. I do, however, want to get this off because it's bumpy. I didn't sand that down enough. And then the bands down here, I'm really not sure what I'll paint them. I'm really not sure. Maybe a periwinkle, because I love periwinkle winter aesthetics. I love it so much. And we don't see it enough in culture and media. But when I look at the color periwinkle, I think of fog, and I think of winter, and I think of like icy vibes. I love periwinkle for that reason. So I would love to maybe do some periwinkle on those. Maybe, I don't know. We shall see. And then maybe I'll find the perfect little critter somewhere to put here. I do have two little critters that I had thought about putting on here, but I just don't think they're right. Let me show you what they look like. Man, my dog is looking so sleepy. Like, aw. Anyway, these are little like toys that I found for free down in our the lobby of our apartment building. Sometimes you'll find who knows what down there. Old toys, old, you know, somebody's blender that they don't want anymore, that they think you could use, and I love that about it here. It's been so fun. So yeah, what I got was this little beaver. He was just in a box of like little findings and trinkets and what have you. And I was like, why does he look like this? I don't know what he's from. But I was like, why does he look like this? He looks like he's ready to grab like something, likely a log, right? And then you look at this and he goes, like, how funny is that? like, you push on his tail. His tail's like a little lever. He's like, it's so cute. Number 2 that I found was this. It's a calico critter. She is a little dirty. She has no clothes either, which is like, that's the screenshot. Like, there's something about that that's so funny. Just me showing off a calico critter. Anyway, and it's funny because online I would always see people being like, calico critters, they're so cute. Oh my gosh, I love them. Or I forget what their name is in Sweden and Finland. They're called something else, like Sylvanian pals or something. Sorry. I don't know. But I never understood the hype. When people would talk about calico critters, I was always like, what do you mean? They're animals. They're animals, but I'll stick to my Littlest Pet Shops. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And then I felt this one. And I was like, she is mine. And she sits perfectly. Well, not in my hand really, but kinda. She's doing it. And they're unbelievably soft, calico critters. People don't talk about it enough. Maybe they do. I didn't realize just how silky soft a calico critter is. Like, they have that, like, softness about them, which, I forget what that's called. That, like, soft casing that's, like, velvety. But growing up, Littlest Pet Shops did that, and it sucked. Let's all be for real. The Littlest Pet Shops velvet fur that they put on some of them sucked. It would rub off, and it was like soft-ish but kind of scratchy, and like it felt like velvet. And when you're a kid, it's like sensory overload, like ew. I didn't like that as a kid. I wonder if I'd feel differently now, but either way, I didn't like it. And this feels like velour. It doesn't feel like velvet. You know, velvet's a little scratchy. I love velvet. Love it. But it's a little scratchy. This is like velour, dude. It is silky, buttery soft. She's cute. I also didn't understand before the cuteness. Like, I didn't understand the hype around their faces. That is so stinking cute. What was I thinking? And now I'm obsessed with calico critters. And now I even have favorites. I really, really want... This is the only calico critter I have, and she's naked. But I want the husky family. So bad. The little baby huskies that are pulling around their own dog sled cart. It's so cute. And my all-time favorite is Bruce the husky. He is so adorable, and he's like got like a huntsman outfit on sometimes. It's like, and I also just, of course, I love the red pandas, because red pandas are like my favorite animal, so, you know. Yeah, that's that. So I was thinking, anyway, my little rant about calico critters is over. But, what else was I going to say? Just that my calico critter does not look the best on here. She just doesn't seem like she would fit on here. Like, it makes sense because this is a dog, right? But she, like, is so much bigger than the dog. And she doesn't have clothes. It just feels wrong. And I would have to, like, super glue her foot to the... Here, let me show you. I would have to super glue her foot to the thing. And it just feels like she isn't a part of this world. You know? Like, they're sitting there singing, and then their cat is, like, as big as they are. It's just kind of like... I don't know. And maybe if I found her, like, an ice skate, maybe I would feel differently. But she's naked. And the dog is naked, but she is anthropomorphic. So it's like, it just feels like she needs to be dressed like they are. Anyway, but this beaver, who I feel so bad that he doesn't have a log, but he just doesn't look good there either. Like, see, like, and I don't even know how I would really get him to sit on there. Like, would I glue his foot and put it on there, or would I, because he doesn't really fit any other way unless I like glue him like that. I don't know, it just doesn't work. I'm finding the right one. I'm looking for the right one to be a part of it. And also, like, maybe this is just my analytical brain firing off here, but I'm like, he's also a beaver, okay? And beavers, although cute, I've heard are very dangerous. I've heard that they, like, will chase after people and could, like, literally chop their arm off, like, in a second, like. And they, I've heard, can be aggressive if you're by their dam, so. I'm like, I just don't really feel like a beaver fits the vibe of, like, being next to two little singing children who are ice skating. I just feel like that's like a bit of a danger to the children and to the dog. What about the dog? The beaver's as big as the dog. I just feel like that would be a little bit of a hazard. I mean, come on, that beaver's huge. And it kind of, now that his arms are like this without a log, it kind of looks like he's like a little, like, warning, I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna bite your arm off. Just be careful. So it just doesn't match the vibe. It just doesn't. That's okay. I'll find some little critter, or maybe I'll make a snowman, which I think a snowman would be a good choice. Although, again, this does mean that the person moves. Whoever is here is going to spin around. The dog does not. These two do. So whoever's there is going to be spinning. And a snowman spinning is funny. But it's not, like, real. It's not realistic. But it doesn't have to be realistic. But I just, you know, I don't know. Am I going for a realistic vibe? Who knows? A snowman makes sense. And it's kind of like Frosty vibes, right? Like he came to life. Maybe. I do think that would make probably the most sense. But I did try to make a snowman there before, and of course it crumbled because I had no experience. But also, he was very heavy. I think next time if I make a snowman, I'm gonna have to use like tinfoil, because that's like what people do. They do tinfoil and then they put a wrapping of the clay around the tinfoil. I might have to do that because he was really heavy and it just kind of like, it didn't make sense, you know? And this thing kind of was like tilting even though the snowman was not big. I made him shorter than these kids, but it just put a lot of weight on this side. So there's that. Anyway, I also found this table, which is like a faux wood table, and I love it because I put him, he makes sense here, okay? He doesn't have a log, but he makes sense because he's like waiting for a little meal. Doesn't he look like he's just waiting, like, okay, dinner time? And I put her at the other end, and and her arms do go out. So I have them two. Okay, sit. Sorry. So I have them two at the table together. Okay? This is how I have them. And I got a little Black Forest cake, a little miniature Black Forest cake that came with my little Pet Shops years ago. And so I sometimes put that cake on the table so they eat it. It's really cute. It's very cute. Although this table is incredibly long. They need guests. Anywho, that's just a little in-depth look into my life.